Time for the front pages of the papers this morning, and it's definitely going to be one that you will enjoy. So let's take time to dissect the front pages, as our first stop is definitely the blueprint. Now, in case you're wondering what's happening, well, take note that there is a strong declaration. This declaration was made not too long ago, and many people are indeed talking about it. Now, that's what you have on that front page there. It says, "Without me, Buhari won't be president." Tinubu opens up, and this is one big trending story. Well, President admitted if he picked Pope as running mate, Nigerians won't vote him. Buhari approached me to be his VP. I surrendered my rights to Osibajo. Without God in me, Dakpo won't be governor. That's the Ogun State Governor, Dakpo Abiodun. Well, we will vote rightly at convention, Governor Abiodun tells Tinubu. APC names Sanwo-Olu, Ganduje, Ngige, others convention committee chairs. This is a tough one.
We're counting down to the convention, and then we get to
so Tinubu is opening up in this this expose. I'm sure we'll take a look at that video later on. That probably should fit in with who's saying something. Well, another one. Ekweremadu quits Enugu Guber race, retains faith in PDP, congratulates Mba as party's flag bearer. That's a story. So the blueprint is actually filled up with a lot of political stories, and it gives you incisive news about each and every one of them. Planned concession of Calabar, Kano trade zones, best way to industrialization, Adesugba actually says. Find that story as well inside of the blueprint. So let's go back to some political stories very quickly. This one on page 9. Look beyond challenges to opportunities in Africa, Buhari tells investors. Look beyond challenges. Now, we're talking about challenges such as kidnapping, no power. We're talking about bad roads and so on. He's saying just look beyond them and take a look at the opportunities. One more. Nigerian airline to operate Sierra Leone national carrier, page 22. That's another story that indeed uplifts, that gives you that happy spirit. And that's where I'm going to stop. Having taken a look at the blueprint on the front page there, you could see the faces of governors, and not forgetting to presidential aspirant Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right, let's move over from Nigeria to South Africa. And in Southern Africa, the big story here, Gandhi's accused change of heart. Hilary Gandhi, we've been following the story of the murder of Hilary Gandhi in South Africa, and now we know that two people had been arrested and brought before the court. Now the state is having none of the defendants claim that he was not in Mbombela when Hilary was abducted and murdered. Prosecution to urge court to deny bail. The details of that story is on page 2 of the Sowetan. Now we also have here the PSL scorecard, how they fared. If you'd like to find out what it is on pages 30 and 31. Modi chooses Chiefs. Modi reminds me of MOD. Modi chooses Chiefs. Arrow's winger said to have signed free contract. That's on the back page. Time Out, staying true to herself. The evolution of Losha Cooper. That's on page 10. One more story here. Ramaphosa denies it all. That's on page 6. What's he denying? If you'd like to find out what that is, go and get yourself a copy of the Sowetan. That's what I'm taking from South Africa.
All right. Well, let's take a look at another African continent this morning as we also bring to you what's new. Well, we're coming back, and it's got to do with the News Direct. Olive, what say you about the News Direct?
All right, on the News Direct, the big story here, we have delegates to vote candidates capable of solving power, economy, security, and other challenges. So that's what the delegates are saying here on News Direct. We also see a photograph of presidential aspirants. We can see presidential aspirant Adewaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We can see the Ogun State Governor, and some of of course, we can see the Lagos State Governor there as well. Now, moving on, Niger Delta military destroys 40 illegal refineries, impounds illegal products. Wow, that's a story to look at. And also on page 3, alleged 80 billion naira fraud. EFCC releases suspended accountant general on bail. We've been following up the story. Apparently, the accountant general has been released on bail. On page 13, customs seized 41,950 liters of PMS, 16 trailers of smuggled rice in Ogun. Wow. On the back page, we have Femi Adesina's column, and here at the top of the paper, high diesel cost. NATO 6 review of petrol freight rate. That's on page 16 of the News Direct. And of course, the story, we took that earlier. Joe took that when he was looking at our first paper this morning. Without me, Buhari wouldn't have been president in 2015, Tinubu says. And my final story here, Oyetola presents 1.156 billion naira bond certificates to Osun retirees. That's all I'll be taking on the News Direct, and that's all that we can take from Nigeria. Oh, let's come back to Nigeria. We have one more paper.
All right. So let me go straight to Kenya first off,
great.
and let's see what Kenya has in store for us. Daily Nation is what we're taking a look at. I like that story at the top there, but by the way, it reminds you that it's 66 days to go to the elections, and a lot is going on. And we'll talk about that later on in the course of the show. But who moved my cheese? That's a big question. Who moved my cheese? Well, monkey business. In meeting with European Union diplomats, the deputy president claims, without providing evidence, that close to 1 million registered voters in areas perceived to be his strongholds have been removed from the electoral agency's register, and asks for a free and fair presidential contest. Page 7, that's where you find that story. He's saying, who moved my cheese? It's a big one. Well, let's go straight to another one this time. Remember, she was touted to actually be an amazing vice president. Well, I like this one. It says, Dear Martha, The Voice. You can read all about it. By the way, we had on News Central. She's an amazing personality, I can say. You can read up every single thing about her, and you will learn so much more. Single parenthood and the changing face of Kenya family. 40%, 4 in 10 of 40% of all households in Kenya today are headed by a single parent. That's what it says, according to national data. And the average Kenyan woman has a 59.5% likelihood of being single by the time she is 45.
Please take that again.
An average Kenyan woman has a 59.5% likelihood of being single by the time she is 45.
And is that such a bad thing?
I think it's something to worry about.
Why?
Why? Because why would you? What's the cause? What leads to them being single? Is it that the husband leaves them? Is it that he becomes sick and dies?
Okay, so I think that's an angle to look at it from. Why are they single? But why I'm asking is because we unfortunately live in a society that makes it look like it's a horrible thing for women to be single. When a man is single past a certain age, nobody frowns or makes him feel awkward about it. Once a woman is single past a certain age, there has to be a problem. She probably has a bad character, or you're going to be miserable in your old age. I do not believe that marriage is for everybody, but if marriage is for you, that's brilliant.
Well, if you put it that way, it's a good way to look at it. Another story that we will have to place our focus on. Hopefully, of course, we've got a Kenyan correspondent who will definitely join us. Maybe in between we can sneak that in and ask him why this is so. But let me quickly bring to you one of the big headers on that Daily Nation before we go straight to the top story, and that's got to do with politics. It's that story about the deal Kalonzo brokered. That story is indeed one big one. It's decision 2022, 66 days to go to the Kenyan elections. The deal Kalonzo brokered. Series of negotiations that brought together the president, Kenyatta, and of course Baringo Senator Gideon Moi. You read all about it when you pick up the Daily Nation, and that does it for the papers. All right.